Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another album review. Today, we're doing To What End by Oddisee. I'm Mike. We got Nick and Matt. And joining us today is a very special guest. We have a musical savant, the pianist and one-fifth of the band Motel Breakfast, which is a Chicago band. Unbelievable. You guys got to check them out. Big Odyssey guy. Uh, Pretty much like one of the original deep music guys I've ever met. We have Connor Brennan here. Connor, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Um, were you guys fans of Odyssey before this suggestion?
No, wasn't not like familiar at all, which is surprising considering he's been around for like 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had some songs saved, but I never listened to any of his albums. Really, my only on my main playlist, I had like really, I don't even know what album it's from, but I think it's from a few years ago. But I had no idea that he's been around since like 2001 or 2002 because he
yeah,
sounds young.
he does.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't know who he was until probably like I don't know 2012. But like I was at a record store, and I think I was at the Rec List by Millennium Park. They were playing a song for that, which was on like one of his compilation albums, and the dude who was ringing me up was just vibing to it, like rapping every word while like scanning my shit. And I was like, "Who is this man? This fucking rocks." And he was just like, "You never heard Odyssey?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Let me get you a record." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
he,
cool.
That's one of the best ways to discover music.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
dude, this album was really good though. I really liked it a lot. So I'm definitely gonna go once we finish that series. I'm definitely gonna dive into his discography because this one is really good. If this
Yeah,
isn't his best, that's crazy.
probably not. I really like A Good Fight and 101. I would start there, but everything I haven't disliked anything he's made.
Yeah, it's an interesting genre because it's like half conscious rap talking about his life and everything, but it's like neo soul. It's like 70s funk mixed with modern hip hop. It's really crazy, with but really good cohesion, blending the two genres.
Yeah, it's like
And
Yeah,
it's obviously a rap album, but there's so many piano sounds, there's horns, there's trump, it's everything.
it's like neo
You know,
soul jazz fusion, and he's rapping, and it's kind of soothing. His voice is like silky, and there's like a lot of jazz elements, and I don't know. It's one of the smoother underground albums that I've heard in a while. I was a huge fan. Good
I'd love
features
to
on.
hear him do like an R&B album because I bet he's probably also an awesome singer.
I can
Yeah,
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think this is a good summertime album too. Right around in the car, windows down, heat. Ooh, playing this shit real loud. That's where I'm gonna probably do my heaviest listening to this.
sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I couldn't believe he produced the entire thing himself just because everything sounded so different. Like every song felt like you were listening to a different album, but it was all on the same album.
Yeah, if anybody's a savant, it's this man for sure.
Yeah, it's right. He's equal parts DJ and equal parts rapper, but both like excellent at.
yeah,
Usually you could pick one or the other where he's better, but like he's so good at doing both.
Yeah, his rapping was crazy, dude, on so many of these songs.
yeah. It's always nice to get a lyrically excellent album without hardcore content because a lot of the best rappers are harder core, but he's not. It's like you said, it's more conscious and personal, but not in like a nasty way or like a it's just it's smooth all the way through. And I don't know, it was just nice. It was like a little change up from what we've been listening to.
Yeah, way less vapid than a lot of the stuff we listen to.
It's like
It's
anti-vapid.
Yeah, instead of talking about, and it's fine, like, but instead of talking about like his life, coming up from the streets or everything, it's a lot of like mental struggles and like inside looks at his career and seeing how it's progressed and how he needs to evolve. And the whole maybe I didn't get enough recognition yet, but that's fine because he's kind of an introvert, but maybe it's time to hopefully get to grow your fan base and continue on.
Yeah,
Those types of themes.
I really like the way that he, yeah, how personal it is. I like the way he raps about like where he's at in his career and kind of what you just said, like how he could have done things differently and maybe be bigger than he is, but you know, he's kind of happy where he's at. Also, he's not happy where he's at. He's kind of in this weird middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on the song People Watching, he's like becoming an entertainer as to hide in plain sight. Rhymes are without filter in real life. I keep it hush. I feel like I said enough. It's time to step back on the mic. Like he's evaluating his entire career. 20 years, that's a long time for someone to be still putting out albums and not like giving up. You know, a lot of people, if they don't reach huge success 20 years later, they're probably going to give up and choose another career.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
didn't. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
And
be
then
20 years into a career and you're not like a common name for most people is damning for some people.
mhm.
But then you get guys like him that just power through.
Yeah, he's got to get enough recognition for it to be worth it still. You know, I mean, besides absolutely loving what he does, which it appears he does.
Right.
He definitely garnered 3 new fans with this one, though, and us. So that's it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then hopefully whoever listens to this will also become a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell throughout the whole thing he has no regrets. I mean, even just the vibe of the album, like it's happy. The music he's making, he seems like he's in a good place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wishes he could have done more.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's part of the reason why it's so refreshing and nice to listen to. It's because it's like he's reflecting on all that stuff you just said, but he is being positive about it, not negative. I like the negative shit. I like when it's personal and kind of like there's so many rap albums that are deep, but it's like negative and kind of sad. This is like a joyous type of thing. He's reflecting on it and he's okay with it, and then the music on top of it just makes the whole feel of the album enjoyably nice to listen to. Sorry though, go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, it's just kind of like cathartic for him. I was pretty much going to say the same thing. It's there's not like a negative voice behind it, even if there's regrets. That's not he's not pissed off about it.
Right. Yeah, because like on Choices, he talks about the uphill battle of like avoiding his parents' mistakes, not doing what they did, and trying to be a better person and more accomplished. And then like Many Hats, it was inspired by his first ever therapy session, and he talks about work burnout and panic attacks that he's had through his time making music, but it wasn't enough to keep him down. You know, he powered through it, got the help he needed, and now he's still 2023 making some unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, I think Many Hats was probably my favorite on the album for sure.
Love that song.
Yeah, what are your guys' favorite songs?
For me, it was Many Hats. I really liked The Way. And even though it was only like 2 minutes, I mean, How Far was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, it's the 3 I already mentioned, but People Watching, Many Hats, and Choices. Those are just really good lyricism, really good beats, introspective, you know, kind of exactly what you want out of a song.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I have Many Hats, Choices, and More to Go.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the features on this album?
Dude, some really good features. Beautiful singing, some good rapping.
The singers are the only ones I recognized, like C.S. Armstrong and Bilal, but like K. Young, Be My Fiasco.
I don't know those guys,
but they sounded great.
Dude, Freeway on Ghetto to Meadow. You know who Freeway is, right? That's the guy that was with Jay-Z and Kanye in like 2003. The Philadelphia Freeway. The songs like What You Know that Kanye and what's his name? Just Blaze produced. That sick song that we always listen to with the crazy production. It's Jay-Z's on it with Beanie Siegel. I don't know. He's probably my favorite feature on the album, and it's crazy because what I know from Freeway, I haven't listened to all his stuff, but his debut album in 2003 is nothing like this. It's more up like the Jay-Z, Rockefeller alley, talking about selling drugs and just he's really good. But he that was my favorite feature on this album on Ghetto to Metal. My favorite songs though, or my favorites, Try Again. I think it's kind of shorter verses, but he's rapping. So those are my favorite cadences and flows, I think, on the album. And then I really like Many Hats. Then it's either a toss up between Already Knew or Ghetto to Metal, maybe.
Is Already Knew the one that sounded like a Kanye song?
I think so. It's kind of towards the middle end.
No, right. It's like the fourth song towards the
Oh
beginning.
yeah. It is. I don't know why I listed it as the last. It was early in the album. Yeah, dude, I didn't dislike a single song. Every single song is really good.
Yeah, I was in the same boat. Like I said, I've never disliked any shit he's put out. So
it's this so far. 2023 has been pretty uneventful so far with albums. We've pretty much reviewed or made a video about every one that's came out that we're interested in. And this is either my favorite or my second favorite, right next to Boldy James and Indiana Jones. I probably like this better than the Sky Zoo album that we reviewed, The Mind of a Saint. Mostly, I don't know why, but mostly because I think he's kind of somewhat of a better rapper, I guess. They're totally different though, but there are some jazz elements in both. I don't know. This album just seems so well put together. I was highly impressed. Like I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I really like this a lot. So what do you guys give it out of 4?
I give it a 3 out of 4. I think a hot 3. I was teetering on 3 to 4. I think after my first listen, like the first half of the album, I was like, this might actually get a 4. And I listened to it again, and not like I disliked it less the second time. I think I maybe even liked it more, but I was like, I don't know if I'm going to give this a full 4. I don't know if this is like an all-time album, but it's excellent. I got no beef with it.
I also am giving it a hot 3. You guys?
I'm in the same boat as you, Mike. That's exactly how I feel. 3.
Yeah, I would go 3 as well, just solely because of you saying, Mike, that it's not an all-time. It's an awesome fucking album, but it's not up there with like the perfect albums.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's pretty close though. I don't really, other than that argument, like Nick, like you said earlier when we were talking, I'm not quite sure why it's not a 4, other than it's not an all-time album.
It just like doesn't hit hard enough. But
Sure.
other than that, like everything, when you're listening, you're like, wow, this is really good. But I don't come away from it being like, that was one of the greatest albums I've ever heard.
Yeah, without having like the track listing in front of me, I wouldn't have been able to tell you what my 3 favorites were.
Same.
Just because they didn't like stand out enough, you know.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like it's better to listen front to back as a full album than just picking out random songs to throw on.
Definitely.
But that's the making of a great, just like a really good album. You know, like sometimes if there's only a few songs you pick out, that means overall you liked a few songs, but the album probably wasn't that good. But when the album construction, start to finish, is more impressive than like the sum of its, or than just like individual parts in the album, I think that's a huge positive for the work of art that he created.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's very well said.
All right, so you got any closing words, or Connor, you wanna promote something?
Nothing really. We just finished a 3-night run, so we got no shows coming up for a while.
Dude, that was amazing.
I was very happy we sold out all 3 venues.
Dude,
it was something else.
I was actually freaking out. Like when, like I'm being so completely genuine. When you started singing, I was smiling so hard that I had tears running down my cheeks. I was so happy. You don't understand how big of a moment that was for me. I swear to God, I'm going to tear up thinking about it.
That was a last-minute request, but we played it at like a wedding per request. We never do fucking weddings. We hate doing weddings, but it was like our guitarist's sister, so we couldn't really say no. And there was like a song request for Jackie Wilson. And Jim couldn't really sing it, and for some reason I can hit a pretty mean falsetto. Couldn't tell you why, but yeah, so I sang it there, and then we were thinking of like a cover to throw in, and somebody was like, fuck, what about the Jackie Wilson song? And I was like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, that was perfect. I mean, of the entire show, that had the crowd going the most. Dude, everyone was freaking out when you sang higher, like the word higher, and everyone singing. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
dude. Yeah, I had the chills and shit. I was freaking out.
Yeah.
We
I was off 30 milligrams and like 6 Bud Lights. Absolutely losing my mind.
we uh, we did it Thursday, but we put it like 2/3 in the middle of the set, and afterwards we were just like, that was a fucking mistake. Like this has got to go at the end. We did
Yeah.
have the old ass bartender at Shuba's tell us, like, he came up to Jim and was like, I've met some alcoholics in my day, but none like your audience. He was like, this is the first time in my career that we've been drank out of Miller Lite.
We were partly responsible for that, probably.
Yeah, we had some beers coming in there. Oh, that is a Chicago rock scene if
Bring
I've ever heard it.
to the north side, drink
Yeah,
their Miller Lite.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got nothing to plug.
All right, Connor, he's modest. He's a penis from Motel Breakfast. Check him out. If you like indie rock, you're guaranteed to like this album. I promise. Bunch of very talented musicians in that band. They're a lot of fun. We've known Connor since birth, so it's also really special to see a friend elevate himself like this and put out some unbelievable music.
I second.
All right, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.